Hello, I'm Corey. This is my video log for this pretty little book. This is project number 8. We had to do some reading on it and whatnot, and there was 5 chapters. It was a lot, but I got it done. Um, so basically, the first chapter, I'm blurry. Much better. Well, the first chapter, the title of it was Copies Are More Important Than Their Original, which kind of made me skeptical on it. How is the copy going to be more important than the original? Well, that's what the reading's for, but first, when I thought about it, it's like nothing can really beat the original because that's without the original, there isn't the copy, so the copy would be useless, but you still gotta read. So um they go on to talk about how Eva and Franco illegally downloaded an exhibition called Circus from Hell, and they put it on their website 0100101110.org. But why they did it, it was like basically just to make a statement. um, Art, they think art is impossible to keep under wraps, to keep in copyright and stuff like that, and it shouldn't be, because it leads to commercialization of the internet, and that's what they were mainly against, and they didn't want that to happen. So, if some people, well, basically, if corporations that have art on it put passwords and only a certain select group of people can only see it, that's not really doing anyone good that can't see it, because say there's like thousands of people that want to see this and they see it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so breathtaking, this, that, and the other. But what about the millions and the millions and millions of other people who love art but aren't privileged enough to see it? So they didn't want that. Um, so when they took that one thing that the 1,000 people can see and they put it on their website for the millions and the millions and millions of people can do, like, they didn't find, I don't even know, like, I don't know what the gain of that was, but basically just to help out the millions and millions and millions of people so they can see it. But what could that one person do about it? Like, they can't really do anything. I mean, yes, if it's a big corporation, Apple, Microsoft, something like that, they can sue because they're bosses like that. They can do that. But if it's someone else, what can they really do? Like, what can they gain from that? So, let's see, what else did I put? Um, Basically, the internet shouldn't be a closed system. It should be open for everyone, like it is right now. Like, I love the internet. I love going to see things that I've never seen before. Mainly, the site to do this on is on Tumblr, and I found out that there's so much other stuff I've never ever seen before, and it's pretty cool. Hacktivism. What they did, I don't think it's hacktivism because they didn't really change anything. They just took this picture of my hand and they put it on their site. They didn't really change it. They just put it up there so the millions and millions and millions of other people can see it. I mean, real hacking is something terrible, and I don't condone it at all. Like when Sony got hacked, I don't know how that happened, but that was a pretty big thing. PlayStation Network was down for like 3 months. I was pissed because I like to play Call of Duty and I couldn't play online because someone had to go and hack them. And then there's like minor hack it. So like when I was playing Call of Duty once again, I work hard for all my achievements and this, that, and the other. Someone comes in, boom, they hack the game. Oh, they're a superstar and everything like that, and I'm over here getting killed, throwing my controller on the ground, breaking it, and I don't want that to happen. So, yeah, that I don't think it's what they did is hacktivism, or if you want to say it, there's like different definitions if you want to say it that way. But basically, that was a scary noise. But basically, hacktivism, not hack, I said already, but they were trying to point out that the beholder beholders becomes the artist. So if Eva Franco puts something up, boom, here's that something up. Then Corey wants to take that something, boom, here it is. And I want to add something like this, boom, that's my art. And let's say the next person comes in and they just flip it over to the side, boom, that's their art. So, like I said, the beholders become the artists, and it's just like multiply a lot of times, just like taking something and manipulating it just a little bit. And it's not hacking. Like real hacking would be against a single, like I said before, Sony would be acted on against a single organization and something like that. Versus what they did, they weren't acting on that single organization. They were just like I said before, making a statement on like the World Wide Web or something like that. The next chapter was on the Nike Ground project, which was pretty funny to me. Like, it's basically the info box and the plaza in Vienna. They called it the Nike Plaza, and it caused up a real... People didn't like it, or Nike didn't like it at all. But it reminds me of my favorite cartoon show I like to watch. It's called The Boondocks. Basically, The Boondocks is it's African American black cartoon, whatever. And like, if there's certain topics, they'll reenact it or something like that. Like one of the episodes, they had there was a beef that was going on in the rap community. It was a veteran artist. His name was Ice-T, and Ice-T had said something about Soulja Boy, and everyone know who Soulja Boy is. Crank That, Soulja Boy, blah 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 blah. But Ice-T said hip hop's dead because of rappers like Soulja Boy, da 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 da. And when Soulja Boy saw that, he acted funny. He was like, "Well, you just an old man, blah 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 blah," and they was cussing each other out, and it erupted in this big old thing. But my point I was trying to make, the Boondocks saw that, and they wanted to make that into an episode where one of their rappers, I think his name is Thugnificent, he starts hating on one of the new guys. His name is Sergeant Gutta. So he tries to make this beef just to like hype himself up and whatever. But it was funny how that's how in the real world it happened like that, and in that world it happened like that. How I knew about it, because of the cartoon. Saw it on the cartoon, did my research, and boom, they actually had a beef, and it's pretty funny. Back to Nike Ground. Yeah, I didn't feel offended by it. It was just like, wow, they really did that. I mean, Nike is everywhere. I'm an athlete, so everything athletic I own says Nike on it, or Asics, because that's who we're sponsored by. I'm on the track team, so that's who we're sponsored by. But aside from that, Nike's everywhere. Nike's big. Nike wants to do it all. Like, when people do anything athletic, they want to see, Nike says, this is our thing, this is what we do, we run this. So when they did that info box in the plaza and whatnot, it was kind of funny. It's like, I'm sitting there like, wow, that really happened. Like, I would never known that, but still, that really happened. And then I would think it would become less offensive to someone who thinks it's art, because anyone who thinks it's art is like, oh my gosh, it's magnificent, versus those big corporations such as Nike being like, what the hell are you doing? This is our swoosh. We don't want you having it or doing anything with it. Art in a sense is just about making those statements like that. So that's what that was about. The next chapter was about the Second Life avatars, which I found was really interesting because I actually do some avatars on some things, but I'll tell you about it. It's basically virtual versus reality. And it's like, if I were to make an avatar of myself, which I've done before, let's say on Xbox, when you sign in, they got this new little thing going after you do an update. It says, hey, you can do this and create your own little avatar. It's pretty cool. You make them look exactly like you, eye, hair color, and everything like that. My little Abby has a little mohawk like I have. My head's messed up, but still. I'm gonna make him buff, not super buff like neck buff, but I'm gonna make him look pretty cool, make him look exactly like me. Cause avatars is just basically expressing yourself. So if you have the way I see myself as an avatar, I would make it as close as I can to me. Or just like in my favorite other game, Grand Theft Auto, how the avatar, you dress them up in the clothes you want to wear. If you want to lift weights, get buff, you can get buff. If you want to get taller, you get taller. I don't know how that happens. I think everyone's just the same height. You can't change that. But that it would be that versus if my brother would try to make an avatar, not my brother because we're too close. If a distant female cousin tried to make an avatar, what they see me as, they'll probably see me as I don't know. Everyone should see me the same. A track guy who loves to go to not school, who loves to go to college. I don't like school. I like college. But that's basically about what that was. They had a little bit of concerns for the sexuality, the violence, social space, and the feminism and whatnot. And then I wrote down something and said it performances function differently because if you knew about what happened back then, or if you knew about what happened back then or not, that's all I wrote. I'm not really good at taking notes, but basically, if you don't know your history, you won't understand what happened. So apparently something happened 70 years ago. Eva Franco took that thing and reenacted it. So if I didn't do my research on what happened 7 years ago, I'd be sitting here like, what the hell is that? I don't know what the hell's going on. But if I did do my research on it, I wouldn't have to explain the rest. Like, oh, that's what they're doing. So something that happened 7 years ago could be reenacted in our new generation, but it depends on who the viewer is, if they done the research or not. Let's see. Well, flogging a dead horse. When I first read that, I was like, what does that mean? It has to be like a figure of speech or something. And that's basically what it was. It's like how you're getting your point across. So, well, basically what Eva Franco did, they tried and they tried. They was like very persistent of trying to change the views of society, I guess, and showed how something, I said already, reading my notes backwards, but with all the different billboards they had put up, and someone had asked them, why are you flogging the dead horse? It's basically, why are you still trying to get your point across and it's not happening, it's not helping you out? So, I guess, I don't know if I answered that right. I hope I did because I want the full points. But I think after all the readings, it was basically about the identity of oneself, the society that one person's identity lives in, the conflicts between different societies and whatnot, you know, rich and the poor, whites and the majority and minority, something like that. They're trying to provoke emotions, you know, let's get this out of you, let's have you cry when you see this picture, let's have you laugh when you see that picture, let's have you being amazed and if you see that. What else? And it showed how art in both reality and internet has consequences on the society and who perceives it. So that's basically all the notes I took. I think I covered everything. I don't know. I'm looking at my thing and it says I have 6 minutes left, so I've probably been recording for about 14 minutes. But that's it. Oh, P.S. The Second Life. I don't know what's wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cool sometimes. Like, I can build everything I want to whenever I'm in my room, in my dorm, but when I'm not on BeachNet, I can't really do anything. It goes really slow. It never lets me see the textures, so I can just build something, but I can't put textures on it. So if you notice, my little thing has like kind of the same 2 textures on it, unless my teammates did it, and so my teammates, they need to get on it. They need to before I get mad. But that's it. Eva Franco, and I'm out.